So we come to the creme de la creme, the one that everybody knows, Cinderella. Cinder doggone Rella.
Oh,
So Cinderella,
wicked stepmother.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jonathan's tale makes sense. You know, like we look at this situation. Her mom's, I think, left her with a bit of hope, if I'm not mistaken. So let me. Well, we'll go through the Brothers Grimm version first, and then we'll go to the other one. So, in the Brothers Grimm version, let me get there real quick. She had like literally. So I'll say this before I get there. The Cinderella story has so many retellings. It is hard to count. Like literally, I'm talking about like, bruh, they have like 6 to 7 different Asian retellings of this joint. And I'm talking about like the 800s. I ain't talking about like the 1800s. I'm talking about the 800s. Right? So this thing has been around for a while. Then on top of that, it was in Greece and Persia. Like this particular style of talking about a type of Cinderella.
Yeah.
In a sense. And I was like, okay, just, dealing with it. And I'm like, okay, just because like the Brothers Grimm didn't make this one up. They took this one too. So
and darkened it a little bit.
Yep, they darkened it, So the it says Cinertolia. Like I think it was the name of the first one. It's a weird name. But there is the plot of this, just to give people perspective. The plot is there's a wealthy widower. He has a beautiful younger daughter, right? A girl of unparalleled kindness and sweet temper. We have to make sure that's added in there, okay? The gentleman marries a proud and haughty woman as his second wife. She has 2 daughters, okay? She has 2 daughters who are equally vain and selfish. The girl is forced into servitude by her stepmother, where she is made to work day and night doing menial chores. After the girl's chores are done for the day, she curls up near the fireplace in an effort to stay warm. She often arises covered in cinders, giving rise to the mocking name Cinderella. Hey, that's something else.
Mm-hmm. It was because of the ashes.
Because of the ashes on her. Cinderella bears the abuse patiently and does not tell her father, who would have scolded her, which now that pause.
He would have scolded her.
He would have scolded her.
For being abused.
For being abused.
Oh, okay. You're right. It's her fault. Not your wife.
Oh, it's definitely not her fault. I mean, it's definitely not the crazy stepmother fault. Oh, no.
Not Karen's fault.
Karen, you can never blame Karen. Now, who you can blame is the chap.
Doesn't this seem familiar?
Yeah, it seems very familiar. Yeah, it's that kid.
Yeah,
the kid's fault. But you're the one being abused. No, I'm not. Or make me slap you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, make me slap you then. Like, I'm over here innocent. I'm just trying to, so yeah, okay. So unpause. So one day, here we go, the goddamn prince. One day, the prince invites all the young ladies in the land to a royal ball, planning to choose a wife. The 2 stepsisters gleefully plan their wardrobes for the ball and taunt Cinderella by telling her that maids are not invited to the ball. As the sisters depart to the ball, Cinderella cries in despair. Her fairy godmother. Pause. All right, so I got beef with this fairy godmother ignorance. Okay, so yeah, it's like this idea of a magical woman just popping up in a woman's life and doing her bidding.
Well.
I got a problem with that.
Wow.
So there's a theory that is very honestly probably one of the best theories I've seen written about like the writing in of slavery into stories. It's called the Magical Negro. And the Magical Negro is usually a black person or a person of color that pops into a story and solves the white person's problems and leaves without any reward. I just found it very interesting. Around this time, slavery was still prevalent. And a person that would have done their bidding at night and to do things that nobody else would have been able to do would have been a slave.
Right. Sleeping by the hearth.
Yeah. And I said, like this is not a reach. Man, it's like, no, it's not. It's really, really not a reach. Like, and it's crazy because people took that same theory and they tested it against the past 30 years of movies that we had with prevalent white men and women in it. And 9 times out of 10, there's a magical Negro. Mm. Forrest Gump, who was a magical Negro. Bubba Gump was a magical Negro. Right? And saying like, no. He was a magical Negro. He died and left homeboy his fortune. How in the world? Just saying. Like I'm not even. People don't even understand. Like sometimes I think that like not even trying to get hotep on people. I ain't trying to sit up here like this right here. You know, if you were watching this, I'm not sitting here with my 2 fingers on my head trying to imitate Malcolm. I ain't doing that. All right. So I'm just asking people to like think a little bit, just a little bit. Wouldn't you find it interesting that entertainment, 9 times out of 10, the black person's the help. The like or the Asian or the Latino person is the help. They're not the prominent. Now I get it because you know this is a majority country, European descent. I get that, but I also realize that even ones that black people have done do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, that's very interesting. You know that this would become a motif where there would be a magical person, multi-ethnic person that will pop in and solve the problem and save the day, and a white person gets the credit. It actually mimics your boy who was the heart surgeon. What's his name? Black man who actually figured out heart surgery.
Black Blaylock. Is that who you're talking about? I remember his
name. Let me see.
I'm sorry, not Blaylock.
No, you're good.
Oh gosh, what is it? Thomas. Vivian Thomas. Something the Lord made.
You're right. Yeah. So I'm like now at home, I forgot the other dude got all the credit though.
Charles Blacklock. Yeah.
And he did not renounce that until his death.
Till the end of his life, right?
Right. So he was a magical Negro.
Oh, for sure.
So I told somebody this joint, they didn't believe me, especially like people who love like rock and roll and metal and stuff like that. The pick on a guitar that people use to stop the vibrations on the guitar was done in Africa first. The guy actually talks about that, how he went overseas and he saw like they actually had some like brick thing that they actually made the tie across the top to stop the vibrations. He patented it and made $1 billion. Magical Negro.
Yeah.
I like that. That actually happened at the right time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like that type. Now, so just let that sink in your brain about the fairy godmother.
Right.
Read The Help. It will help you. It will help. Don't watch the movie. The movie didn't do the book justice. Read the book. Learn how to just read. Reading is better. So yes. Her fairy godmother magically appears and immediately begins to transform Cinderella from a house servant to the young lady she was by birth, all in an effort to get Cinderella to the ball. She turns a pumpkin into a carriage. Pause. This sounds like a person that can make something
right
out of nothing.
Oh, where do we get that from? Where do we know that from?
I'm just throwing that. I'm liking this. I don't know whoever that's doing this for you right now. I love this chime. This is happening at the right time. It's great. At the right time? Yes, keep texting. Keep texting at the right time. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm like, all right, these dings is working.
Right.
So
wait a moment.
Yeah, so unpause. Mice into horses, a rat into a coachman, and lizards into footmen. She then turns Cinderella's rags into a beautiful jewel gown, complete with a delicate pair of glass slippers. The godmother tells her to enjoy the ball, but warns her that she must return before midnight when the spell is broken. So then we get the old ebb and flow where it's multiple times that they go back and forth between like Cinderella going to the ball, seeing the prince, dancing with the prince. She did this multiple times, then she lost a slipper. Now, in the Brothers Grimm story, what happened near the end is that this slipper was being placed on females' feet. And there's a little poem that had for that joint. Make sure I got it. No, that's the other part. Nope, not you either. All right, so there they go. There's blood on her shoe. The shoe is too small, not the right bride at all. So whenever a female tried on these shoes, their feet would bleed. If their feet bled, that means that they were not the ones who were supposed to. They were not the ones who were going to be ordained or anointed the princess by the prince. So we get down to where Cinderella got to it. There they go. No blood on her shoe. The shoe's not too small. The right bride is she, after all. So she like goes through a couple of things. People try all over the kingdom. Women trying to put these shoes on, tearing their feet up. And women, like I said, some ladies do this for free now. They were doing it and trying to get a husband. Maybe there's a correlation there. I don't know. Not gonna test that. Probably. Not gonna test that.
Troubling.
What is that, bro?
That's a troubling message.
Yeah, it is. You know, I'm like, man, like what Rhyme said. There they go.
There they go.
There they go. There's blood on her shoe. The shoe is too small, not the right bride at all. I hope nobody ever preach on that ever. So ever. Goodness gracious. There might be a fight in the building. Goodness gracious. So Cinderella then ends up being a perfect fit. She gets the man. Cinderella's stepfather family pleads for forgiveness, and Cinderella agrees. Cinderella had hope her stepfamily would love her always. Cinderella marries a prince, as her stepsisters are married to two handsome gentlemen of the royal court. Now, pause. These heifers have been trifling their whole lives.
Treating her like dirt.
Karens. Their mama is a Karen.
Oh, the big Karen.
Yeah, she big Karen. Yeah. So big Karen had two little Karens.
She did.
Big Karen married a rich man.
Yes, she did.
A docile rich man. A man who took no risk. Okay? Then she had two little Karens. And the two little Karens, as a reward for their being a Karen.
Right. Their years of abuse.
They get men of the royal court that's 9 times going to take care of her. Now, granted, this is the story that they wrote, so we're going to go with the story that they wrote. We know that the life in the royal court was not easy. I get that, but that ain't what he's trying to write here. He's trying to reward them for, and like, so this act of forgiveness is forgiven and everything is good to go. I'm like, these heifers ain't changed.
They went from one privileged position to another. They live lives in privilege, steeped in privilege all the time, insulated from the hardship and the struggles. Cinderella's not.
Yeah,
Cinderella was essentially their slave.
Yeah,
who, graduates from the slave house to the big house, but they just stay in the big house all the time.
Yeah.
And so I found it interesting though that in the Brothers Grimm version, they don't have great endings. These sisters.
They don't.
The pigeons come
and pluck their eyes out.
Oh.
Brothers Grimm had a beef with them too. I'll give them that. They don't let man forget these heifers.
The blind people. They wanted people to lose their eyes. I don't know what that was about.
Hey, but they wasn't playing none of that. They're like, yo, they gonna get it today.
Yes.
So that was it. But I was thought that was very interesting. So the whole idea of a step Karen The step Karens, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Like winning at the end. I'm like, what type of revisionist history is that?
Right.
We gonna reward these bad people because they're Karens.
It's really good at heart, They didn't mean it.
They cry a little bit and the judge give her 10 years.
Oh, right.
What you say, bro?
Probation, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, give him probation,
Yeah.
Get arrested with no conviction.
Right. I promise you won't do it again.
Yeah, she'll never do it again. Older Karen. So I mean, people are like, why in the world is this stuff? Why they get that treatment? Because so now, like people, we've given you 3. Actually, I've given you 4. We're giving you 4 examples. We're giving you the story of the 3 bears. That's his original name, so I'm gonna call it that. The original story is the story of the 3 bears. They're changing the Goldilocks and the 3 bears to make Karen more digestible.
Yes.
Because it was a Karen in the beginning.
Right.
Then we got to Rapunzel. And Rapunzel had a Karen for a mother that refused to allow herself to feel anything outside of what she wanted to be in desire. She wanted desire. She almost starved herself to death for it. And she got it. And then she gave her kid away willingly to some older Karen, sorceress Karen, who procured her the child, and then she's called her foster parent. Foster.
I mean, you basically steal a child and you become its foster parent. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So then we finally got the introduction to the prince. Oh, that doggone prince. He's always so sly and he knows exactly what to say to the main neglected Karen character. He knows just what to say. This one was a stalker in Rapunzel. He literally stalked her, watched the sorceress do all the things that she wanted to do to get in there. And then he, like a thief in the night, like a fox in the hen house, got in there every night, impregnated this chick, and then jumped out of the doggone thing. Did not die, but lost his eyes. I mean, we just finds her probably like 20 years later, something like that, singing in the backwoods.
Yeah.
Where he's been blind and wandering through the woods and nobody has accosted him. Right? And he finds her, hears her voice, and he's, oh, it's my woman. He goes up to her, and it's been like 20 years. He's been wandering around the wilderness, stinking probably. She hugs him anyway, cries on his face, and her tears heal his doggone eyes, and they live happily ever after in a kingdom that he didn't even supervise for probably 10, 15 years.
Right. Yep.
That's Rapunzel.
Luxury.
Hansel and Gretel. We have a docile man again and a Karen. It always starts with a docile man and a Karen. People need to take note of this. If you see a docile man and a Karen, there ain't a whole lot of good things that's gonna come out of that.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide everybody.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? They gonna come all over and they coming for everybody in this bad boy. So we get in a situation where this docile man, the Karen, the Karen is like, these kids can't stay in this house because I don't want them in the house. They gonna eat me. They gonna eat my food. And they ain't my kids, but you know what I'm saying? They still don't need to stay here. And I didn't pay for none of this land, but you know what I'm saying? They need to leave.
Right. I mean, I don't pay the mortgage or anything.
I don't pay the mortgage here. All I do is complain and eat. That's all I do.
But y'all need to go. Y'all got to.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So Karen, got her way. The kids get kicked out. The older brother got enough sense to believe in the Lord. I'm like, you're a smart kid. You know what I'm saying? So he like, we ain't gonna be forsaken. He lays down the pebbles. He finds his way back. He get back home. Daddy is like, oh Lord, look at my kid step back again. Karen's like, how these suckers got back? Right. So Karen's like, all right, we locking these suckers in a room this time. And the next family came. She's like, lock them in a room. No pebbles for you. Now kick him out. And Karen kicks him out this time, and they take breadcrumbs, and they're like, yo, Hansel's like, look, by hook or by crook, I'm living. All right. That's the only thing I respect about this story is that Hansel is like, look, I don't care what I got to do. I'm going to get out of this sucker alive.
Yeah. Right? For sure.
I'll throw down some breadcrumbs. We're going to figure this out. The birds is trifling. Another part of this thing is try doggone birds.
Probably fun.
Gonna eat the bread, you know what I'm saying? They probably just like, oh, he's just throwing down morsels. I appreciate that. All right, so they go down, grab, swoop it up, eat it up, you know, and then they find their way into the older witch Karen's house who want to eat the kids for her own pleasure. Now, there's a whole story in that we won't get into in this podcast about the type of Karen that would use children to get her way.
Oh my.
Now, yeah, like that's a whole nother podcast. We're not going to touch on a whole lot, but I'll just say this much. I just find it interesting that the archetype for a woman that wanted to use children. Oh, who is on this text messaging? Oh my goodness, yes. So, wonderful. The that whatever like the situation is that like there's always this older Karen witch, and I mean Karen, not caring. So there's always this older Karen witch that refuses to release her power over the situation that she's in, and is willing to sacrifice children to get her way. That is a recurring theme in each one of these stories. They will throw the kids away to get what they want. They'll throw the kid away to get a man. They'll throw the kid away to get money. They'll throw the kid away to get food. Every single one you read from the Brothers Grimm and even from old school folklore usually deals with that particular situation where there's a Karen that wanted to have something and people are in the way, so Karen disposes of them.
Right. They had to go.
They got to go. So in this story, Hansel and Gretel were under the threat of one Karen that wanted a man and money, and the other Karen that wanted them to satisfy her lust. Look.
Karen is greedy.
Karen greedy, yo. Now Karen crazy enough, she get hot, yo. You know, she start reeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't get her way. So Karen get mad. And what happens then? She puts her own self in her own trap. That sounds familiar too.
Karen is a victim of her own self.
Victim of her own self.
Oh,
her own device.
I tell you.
Man, so go ahead.
No, I was saying Karen crawls up in that oven. Gretel, here's how I'm going to cook you. That is the arrogance of a Karen.
Facts.
How I'm going to kill you. Let me demonstrate it. I'm going to do it. And I know I'm going to get away with it. And there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Unless you kill me. And then the Hansel is Gretel's like, bet.
Right.
Bet, close the oven.
Gretel took the opportunity.
Yeah.
To do what she had to do to get up out.
Yeah, facts. So Gretel closed the oven on that Karen. That Karen turned to ash, which I don't know why her oven was up that high. I mean, that's another thing. Karens don't know how to cook. I ain't gonna. Not gonna. Let me stop that. I'm gonna pull back. That insult was too hard, but it's also true. But they're the ones at the potluck to be trying to bring food when the cat's in the kitchen.
Which Karen probably has some cats in the kitchen with her too.
Oh, facts. She had some cats and birds in that doggone when she wasn't cooking. She won't cook the kids though.
Right.
The kid's the main target.
The cat. Right?
Yeah. So Hansel and Gretel, you know, after they get done like handling the business, you know, they find some jewels and they're like, yo, let me go ahead and dabble in these jewels real quick. Right. So they pick them up and they roll out, go back to the house where docile Papa's still there. He's still alive. Of course he is. And the mama dead. I mean, with stepmother dead.
Yep.
Right. And they live happily ever after with the witch's jewels.
Right. Hansel and Gretel should have taken those jewels, gone off somewhere, buy a nice house, and forget their pops. Because I mean, what did he ever do for them?
Facts. He threw him away twice.
Yeah, you threw me away twice.
Without remorse. He's like, oh, you got to get out.
Right. You let me go out in these woods, and I had to lay down stones to find my way home. And you think I'm going to share some jewels with you? You are mistaken, sir.
Facts. I would have thrown the smallest jewel. Like, here you go, sir. We going this way.
Yeah, I'm out. It's been great. It's been real.
For real, sir. This will buy you 2 loaves of bread. Have a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like
here's the you and stepmother wanted so urgently, so desperately.
There you go.
There you go. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.
Lay it on her grave.
Yeah. Y'all have that together. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah. So we got a situation where they're like, okay, you know, so Hansel and Gretel are literally the OGs of that story. Like that's MVPs of that story. Thankfully, it's about them, but I still hate that story because of how much I don't like the theme around the witch, the stepmother, and the daddy. Because the daddy don't get it in this story. That's a problem for me. I got a problem. I'm like, nah, Pop, you should have got something too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that's another. Then we got the Cinderella, who has like 75 other names. I mean, like on the real, she got a lot of names. I'm talking about like as far as like the particulars tale of her is like Yi Zhang, what's it? Asphasia, Rhodopus, Tam and Cam. Let's not even talk about that. You know, it's so many of them that deal with this particular theme of a young girl who is accosted by a Karen and her 2 Karens. You know, so it's 3 Karens in this story. It should be called 3 Karens and a real one. That's what they should call it.
Yeah.
Because I own a real. Cinderella was a real one. Like I'm like, yo, she was way more forgiving than I would have been.
Not only that, but she ran that household. I mean, she made sure that thing was managed, clean. She held it down.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
I was saying like
their meals, you know, and didn't poison them. She had amazing self-control.
Yo, look, you know, I ain't think about that, yo. You know, you know what I'm saying?
They had her sleep in their ashes. Now,
in ashes.
Someone who's not like Cinderella would have taken some of that ash and just drop it in their porridge.
Yeah.
And we like, oops.
That's what happened in the Help. You know what I'm saying? I was like, she's like, look, yeah, you eating my poop, girl. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, yo.
Right, just like, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, but then we get to the age-old theme of the fairies. You know what I'm saying? The fairy godmother and the fairy godparents and the fairy god whatever. You know, like I said, I talked about, you know, just dealing with the fact that like a lot of that stuff, it seems very, very typical that you could give those tasks to somebody that could not repay you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that like people don't normally think about. I'm like, no, you have to give those tasks to somebody that can't repay you and they owe you everything. What that sound like? That don't sound like a friend. I mean, like even a friend would be like, hey, yo, homie, you gotta like make sure you take care of some stuff. Even though they were like, no, I got your back. But you know what I'm saying? You have me risk a lot.
Right.
You know, you got my back. You know what I'm saying? The fairy like, nah, man, you know, just do you. You know, we gonna do you. We gonna take these rags and we gonna put you in the riches. Easy transition. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna do that? We gonna do this. You know, taking a pumpkin and turning into a carriage. Taking a, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this sounds like a grandma who took scraps and made like the best soup you ever had in your life.
Right.
You know?
Someone like every situation better.
Yeah.
Just that their entire existence is about improving your situation, your circumstances.
Yeah.
You know, obeying all your whims.
Yeah.
Into their hearts because really they're happy in this ideological captivity.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just finding, you know, the whole like genie and the 3 wishes thing, you know, I had to look into that, like, even though it's not part of this particular story, but the jinn is like a Muslim person, but it's not even really built on 3 wishes. It 3 wishes. It actually had a lot more ramifications. If you took this, you actually had to give them like part of your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like the jinn system that it had. It wasn't just, oh, we just gonna give you these things for free. No, it was a contract. You know, but for some reason we got this genie and the three wishes, and guess who's the first ones to get their own show about a doggone genie?
Oh,
who's Karen? They had a witch show and they had a genie show.
Talking about I Dream of Genie and
I Dream of Genie.
and then Bewitched.
And Bewitched.
Yep. Both Karens.
Both of them are Karens.
White women.
Both of them had docile white men.
Yes.
White men, please listen carefully. Don't be that docile white dude that's being controlled by a Karen. Find yourself a real one like Cinderella. On the real. Find yourself a real one like Cinderella. Cinderella is a real one. Do not, and I repeat, do not fall for a Karen. Typical traits for a Karen. Let's break them down for you. All right. Typical traits: overbearing, controlling. No, I'll let you jump in. So give us some. Overbearing, controlling. What you got?
Easily offended. Arrogant. Self-important.
Also good.
And spiteful.
I'll add in on top of that savior complex.
Yes, for sure.
Because each one of them will always believe their solution to the pains of the world.
Yep.
So like what I get from Karens is this. I'm white, but I want to help. And I just want to know how I can speak to my own people. You exist, speak.
Right.
That's a Karen reply. How in the world do I help? Maybe call out things that you know that you don't want to call out.
For sure.
Let's just start from point A.
Use your privilege.
Yeah. I'm saying like just realize that something's wrong here. Something's wrong, and you need to actually say this is actually wrong. And don't Karen a Karen now. Let me just make sure. Don't Karen a Karen by saying, well, it's because we white women need to step up. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Just address the issue and explain it in a way where people can honestly understand what's going on. Now, white men, please listen. Do not get yourself a Karen. Karens ruin households.
Apparently.
But they'll get your kids though, but they'll ruin households. So you need to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like what's your boy? He's a football player. He married a Karen. What's his name? Give me a second. Quarterback. I think he was files for divorce. Give me a second.
Yeah, no problem. When it comes to sports, I'm kind of.
Oh, his name is Jay Cutler. And so I'm not going to get deep into sports. So just for the sake of the moment, because especially like we're winding it down now. So Jay Cutler has been married to this woman for 7 years. He was let me see, what was he? He was on Miami Dolphins. Okay, he was on Chicago Bears, Miami Dolphins. He retired, apparently, whatever. He married this girl. Her name is Kristen Cavalieri. She says he's lazy. So I was like, okay, that's very interesting. I said, okay, well, he's lazy. He's a millionaire. Just make that make sense. He's a millionaire. She thought he's lazy. So upon further digging, what people found out that she didn't like, he has 2 sons with her. Okay. He bought a ranch. And he wanted to like make sure his kids were loved. He just wanted to be with his boys. This man's already made a couple $1 million. He's like a millionaire. He literally retired and like in his 30s. What dream that is.
Right.
He retired in his 30s. And she's like, yeah, I'm because he's boring and lazy. So I'm gonna see if I can read some of this. Cutler was now a dad, husband, and general sarcastic bystander in his wife's life. This is people trying to dress it up. And as boring as that sounded, it entertained living like it. So they had a show apparently. It's called it was something like called Very Cavalieri or something like that. But her own, it was like a theme around her. Karen. on the E Network, the Karen Network. So, yeah, E Network. So Care E Network and Life Karen Network. Hallmark Karen Network. All of them. All of them get disqualifications. Every last one of those. So, but so she's like, oh yeah, I didn't want him because he just got boring to me. The man was taking care of his kids and her. They were all taken care of. She wanted the thrill of life, you know. So married to him for 10 years. She got out of it. She's like, I don't even want to bother women no more. Yo, she called heat. She called mad heat because of this. People are like, why in the world would you divorce a man that actually want to take care of his kids?
Right.
She ain't had no answer.
Because she was a top priority, maybe?
She wanted to beat it. Now, she's already making money.
Yeah.
Now, so the threat is on, you know, like so he already got money. She probably wants some of that money, and she's making more money. More scandal gets Karen more money. I'm just saying, let that sink in. Karen's love scandal. Love it. Karen's love scandal.
Stay away from drama, that's for sure.
Even black Karens love scandal. So just for black men too, keep that in mind. There are some. There are black Karens too. Don't
crosses cultural.
Oh, it's tries. Yeah, all over. Yeah, just like don't get it twisted. Now we're not just talking about white folk. We're talking about just women in general. But it just pertains. Yeah. So yeah, but I just want to let everybody kind of soak in that for a moment and just think about that. The older Karen. How fairy tales were written to kind of like make sure that most of the Karens were taken care of in a way. And then we saw a deviation of that later on, but then we saw a resurgence in like the rewriting of Karens. You know, Rapunzel's mother never got that fire, that heat.
Right.
In the new stories. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the sorceress, maybe, because in Modern Sensibility, we get that that's an abductor. Like, no, this woman's crazy.
Yeah. Totally.
So she can't. Yeah, you know, Goldilocks.
Really?
Yeah, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Was a Karen and the Three Bears. To make that digestible for children, they made Karen a young, beautiful white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Right.
To say, oh, she's not doing anything wrong. As Jonathan would say, she's angelic.
Yeah.
She can't do it
wrong. A little cherubim.
You know?
Make everything, like, make it excusable.
Yeah.
Because it's a fun story.
Yeah.
But,
go ahead. What you saying?
I just said, we see you.
Yeah, we see you. So well, I'm going to end with this, and this is a good question for both of us to divulge. So what is a good story then? Like can you think of a story? It can be a movie, it can be a fairy tale, whatever, that would actually be something good for children to digest, good for adults to digest, and to deal with issues in a way where it's not preaching at them. You know, it's like it gets in your skin almost, because like these stories, the power of these stories, that they get in your skin, and you can't forget them. Like they're told so well that you remember them even when you don't even remember them.
Right.
But what are examples of tales that would be considered life lessons that were good life lessons? And that's hard for me. That's hard. I thought long and hard, yo. I was like, outside of comic books, I can't give you any.
I mean, yeah, maybe some of Aesop's fables, maybe. Let's see. I think
that's fair. You know, I just thought about that. I was like, name me a good story from folklore that's not Norse. Norse mythology is that's a firefight right there. So yeah, I don't know how you be encouraged by anything about the death that's in that doggone story. But
like maybe some stuff from Greek mythology, like the Odyssey. That might be one.
But nah, the Odyssey had some moments.
I mean, it's heavy.
Yeah. So I'm saying the Odyssey is crazy.
It actually, yeah, it's not good for children.
Yeah. So it's like I'm like, what in the? It's like I thought like, there has to be a story.
Maybe the story of King Midas. Maybe. I mean, yeah.
As far as a lesson, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Talks about the perils of greed.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a good one. All that glitters isn't gold. So
that's true. We got 75,000 rap songs off of Midas. So that's true. Bunch of R&B songs too. So Midas can be added to the list. I like the story of King Midas. Like everything he touched turned to gold, but it literally was starving him.
Right. He lost everything almost.
Yeah.
His own daughter, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
Whom turned to gold. So that's a greed, danger, the love of money.
Nobody can add Lion King either. Here's the reason why. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this out there real quick. All right?
You might be stepping on a landmine.
I know. That's why it's called Enigmas Unchained. So the Lion King was stolen. You know this, right?
Are you talking about from Kimba the White Lion?
The White Lion, right?
It was.
So the Lion King cannot be used in this argument. I told black folk all over, I'm like, this is not your story, it's a Japanese story. No, it's not. It's our story. I'm like, it's not about you. It's about a bunch of Japanese people.
I will agree. Yes, it is from the 70s, right? The 60s.
So the 60s and 70s, Walt Disney, they stole it again.
Yeah, Kimba the White Lion. And the story is pretty much identical for the most part.
And it's better told by Kimba too. It was on YouTube and they took it down. So it's crazy. This was crazy. They allowed Kimba the White Lion to be on YouTube for like 7 or 8 years. Once the live action came out, they wiped the doggone memory of it off of YouTube.
Oh my.
Walt Disney, yo. Know what I'm saying? Like I said, if they're creative, my goodness, are they good at thieving? It's so good at thieving. So, you cannot include Lion King in that. Don't even try. Don't even throw me the Hunchback of Notre Dame either.
That's dark.
That's freaking dark.
That is
I hate that movie.
Well, it's actually one of my favorite Disney movies.
I'm sorry, sir. I just don't understand. The kid in me.
The story is awful. I would not read that to a child. No. There's so much bad in that. I mean, sexual assault and greed and just murder and treachery and just yeah. It's a dark story.
Very dark. No, so and they were like, oh, Hunchback, give him a beautiful chick at the end. I'm like, wait, pause.
Right.
Like, this is possible? Okay.
Oh, technically, she got with the white man.
Oh, she did. That is right.
Yeah, so Quasimodo pined after her. And I can't remember the guy's name, the captain of the guard, though. But she chose a soldier. So they did remain true, I think, to the original telling, although I believe in Victor Hugo's novel, the man Esmeralda fell in love with is also the man who raped her.
Yes.
So there's that. That's dramatic.
His name was trying to see if I got the right guy. Is it Phoebus?
Yes. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure it's the right guy. Yeah. So Esmeralda falls for Phoebus, and in the original story, there you go again. See, look, perfect timing. The I think that he was the one that actually did accost her. Yeah. So it's Disney, man.
He definitely is a very watered down, child friendly version. Although even the Disney movie is kind of intense. which I think is why I like it so much.
Yeah. You know what though, man? I'll give him Beauty and the Beast.
I wasn't so fond of Beauty and the Beast. I still not to this day.
Well, there is a bit of Stockholm syndrome built in there. I'm not even gonna say there is a bit of that. Not even gonna,
In a way.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say in front. There's a bit of Stockholm syndrome built into that.
For sure.
You know what? Nah, I can't. No, it's not recommended for children. I take that back. It's like, no, that doesn't work.
In a castle. I mean, I guess. Well, I'm not sure about the original version, but didn't she willingly stay in the Disney movie?
She did.
Yeah. She had the opportunity to leave, but she decided to stay to help reform him or something like that.
She did. It's a story about a woman that believes that she can change a man's dark heart. That's an age as old as time.
Right.
Tale as old as time. Song is always. It was a song as old as time. Tales on whatever it is. Yeah, like that is a fact. A woman that's, I'm gonna change him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that works.
So I'm gonna read these. I'm gonna read this. You just give me a yes or a no, okay? Because like this is a list of Disney movies that would like particularly be dealing with children and stuff like that. Okay, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
No. Princess and Men. No.
All right. Well, yeah, like she has 7 dudes sleeping in the same house with her. You know, like,
yeah, that's like a harem. I don't think so.
Yeah, you know, so reverse harem.
Right, a reverse harem.
You know, so ain't nobody touching Pinocchio. Pinocchio is lit. But Pinocchio still ain't for kids though. But it's a lit story. Like that story got too many layers for me to even dive into. That needs its own podcast. I'm gonna deal with that later on. The Dumbo. No. Mad depressing movie.
Yeah, and quasi racist. I think that's troubling too.
It is. Bambi.
Oh, that's sad.
And you know what's crazy? They were back to back.
They're
back to back.
Well, Disney released them back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm like that was a depressing time, man. Goodness gracious. Cinderella, we both pretty much know. Dope, but no. Alice in Wonderland.
I feel like that has a lot of darkness in it too.
Oh, it does. Lots of dark.
Yeah.
Peter Pan.
Doesn't that also have a lot of creepiness?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thematically, once again, that was another one that thematically, when I got older and I studied like the way, the structure on why Peter Pan survived as long, is because it's the age-old struggle against aging.
Mm-hmm.
And the want to stick around and grow old. I mean, not grow old, but want to be a kid, but then growing old and finding yourself losing your youth. That's the whole point, but it's still a dark story. You know, as far as like, you know, Hook literally having a hook for a hand, a doggone crocodile literally searching for him. It's tick-tocking to find him. He's trying to murder Peter Pan every single chance he sees.
Right.
Lady and the Tramp.
With the exception of those Siamese cats, yeah.
So you'll give it a yes.
I'll give it a yes. I can't. So I've only seen it once.
Okay. Go back and watch it again. Let Vaughn in on the experiment. It should be interesting.
I definitely remember the cats.
Okay. Yeah, the cats are weird.
The cats are. I mean, I get it. It was a different time, but talk about just cultural stereotyping. I was just like, dang, it's blatant.
It's very blatant. Sleeping Beauty.
So funny enough, I just watched Sleeping Beauty.
Okay. The animated movie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Like the animated movie's fine. It's cute. Yeah. But the fairy tale is
dark, yo.
It's extreme. It's really dark. I mean, and even some aspects of the Disney movie are kind of like, oh, like she really wanted to kill this princess.
Oh, facts.
And it's that same theme again. This old hag of a witch dark and in the shadows and on the periphery and margins of society is looking on into with envy into the angelic blonde princess.
Yeah.
Who is everything she's not. And so the spinster that she is, she has to kill her. You know,
in a crafty way, by the way.
Yeah.
In a crafty way.
Her touch. Okay. You have her touch the spindle of a spinning wheel. But after the curse, after the Maleficent, you know, proclaims the curse, the king is like, okay, we're going to burn all the spinning wheels in the kingdom. So I'm like, oh, so we're just not going to make clothes anymore? So you just ruined an entire industry and left your people without clothing. Okay.
He literally caused an economic crash.
There was a huge recession after that.
Yeah, it was. So 101 Dalmatians.
So I do love 101 Dalmatians.
Okay. Now I ain't got no beef with it either, man. I mean, I think it's actually probably, well, Cruella de Vil was great, but the story, the man and the woman and the two Dalmatians was a dope love story.
I agree.
It was probably one of the cleanest ones that they did. So that one gets a check mark from me too. So Jungle Book.
So I like Jungle Book. Yeah. But I think also if you start to look at some of the cultural implications of it, it can be a little questionable.
Yeah.
You know, indigenous peoples and kind of, again, stereotyping. Yeah. I'd give it a yes, I guess. Use it as a lesson.
Yeah, like I think Jungle Book had enough lessons in it to kind of like carry over and give some people some context for certain things.
Right.
So it'll get a check mark from me. Now, here's a movie that I watched once and I literally just forgot it. I'm like, what is this movie about? Aristocats.
I own that movie.
Really? So I watched it once and I never watched it again. And I got Disney Plus and I'm like, next. Like, no.
It's not the best Disney movie. It's fine. I mean, it's kind of your anthropomorphic animals, and it's another story, and the wealthy cat falls for a cat from the wrong side of the tracks.
So that's an X. So
Little story. You and the Lady and the Tramp. You know.
Yeah. West Side Story, man. So
yeah, exactly. That's
West Side Story. That's all.
Yeah.
So Robin Hood. Robin Hood.
You know, Robin Hood's an interesting character.
He is. I mean, I'm tossed up because the fox Robin Hood was a savage, you know, in this thing. So I'm like he always gets a check mark from me just for savagery alone. But no, you know, I still show it to my son. Nah, he gonna get a check from me. Because Robin Hood was like, nah, son, y'all got too much over here. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and break up that consortium.
Yeah, you know, I kind of like that, you know, equity.
Yeah, he was like, nah, I got this, man. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna go and take from this cat over here. Don't worry. You know?
I feel like they're sending they were advocating for some kind of economic equity and some social equity, I guess. I don't know.
We'll put a check beside him. No. You know what? No, screw that. We're gonna skip all these 80s movies right here because most of these movies was trash. The Little Mermaid.
That's dark. So yeah, the Disney version, I mean, that's a classic.
It's still dark.
It is. Oh, it is.
Dude, it's friggin' dark. I mean, like that chick gave up her voice.
Yeah, and it's kind of that thing about changing yourself, you know, as a woman, changing yourself to please a man or to get a man, and that, you know, that to me is a problematic message because.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then on top of that, what business we got telling little girls this though? Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's kind of. So give up this wonderful gift that you had in order to be like all these other people. But then I guess in the end, she comes to the realization that she's unique and doesn't need to do that. But then ultimately, doesn't she end up with the prince anyway? So, I guess there really is a profound lesson there.
The prince did not lose his whole time. He was always winning.
He was always
homeboy was like, yo, I found this mermaid. She fire. I want her, right? I'm like, okay, Prince, it's no mermaids allowed. And he's like, all right, whatever. So she's like, well, since I can't have him as a mermaid, Ursula, what if you made me into a human? I was just like, well, what you gonna give up? Oh, I'll give my voice up. Oh, word? Okay. Bet. Boom, right? Ursula, she forgot that Ursula's a Karen. So she forgot. She forgot Ursula was a Karen, man. I was like, she's a Karen. Karens take from other people to get what they want. So in this situation, Ariel gave up her voice and thought she was gonna just slide back in them DMs, and Ursula had already slid in there with her voice.
She did.
Now the prince didn't realize any of this. Okay, he didn't know there was a war going on under the water.
He didn't. He was a hapless man.
He's like, oh man, red hair, fire voice, bad body. Let's go. He never lost this whole time. No consequences. Dude, I'm just gonna do me.
You're right.
And so he didn't lose. I don't know this. I was like, I thought about it. I was like, the dude didn't lose anything in this movie.
He's very one-dimensional.
Yeah, I was like, Ariel had everything to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I have kids, they'll be watching it anyway.
Yeah, so it'll get a check. we already established Beauty and the Beast is a no. For kids, it's like no. Now Aladdin is a tough case for me because first off, especially as a person who loves history, the historian in me hates Aladdin. Story in me hates it because there's so many wrong stereotypes about three different kingdoms,
right?
Blended into one kingdom, and I'm like, none of these would have coexisted ever. This is a Muslim story, a European mindset in a Persian setting. Miss me. I was like, miss me with all this. I mean, this is
like a lot of confluence for
Yeah, so man, I was like, this is problematic for me. But as far as the story goes, the diamond in the rough,
right.
Dope concept. Aladdin pretty much having to come to terms that he was actually good enough. The way they did it, and when he was given wishes and the wishes wasn't enough, and he realized the wishes wasn't enough. I'm like, that actually, the variances of the story makes perfect sense. I ain't got no beef with that. I didn't like the retelling. The retelling made like Jasmine the main point. I'm like, homie, where did y'all get this from? What movie did y'all watch? What part of history did y'all read where a female could be sultan in a Muslim world? Answer me that, and I will leave you alone.
Well, they definitely weren't trying to be historically accurate.
Yeah,
I didn't like the live movie for a very different reason.
I didn't like it more than that, but that was one part.
Like the cartoon version of Aladdin, because when I think Jasmine was a different type of princess, she wasn't as helpless.
Yeah.
Like she had, she was, I would say, kind of a little more progressive for that time period.
She was.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that a lot. I think that was a message.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that she was like, nah, I can actually stand up for myself and stuff. I appreciated that from the original movie. Yeah. But from the anime, but in the new movie, I'm like, yo, y'all need to calm down.
I just wish they didn't give her this.
So I was like, she can't be, I don't know, man. I was like, well, I'm gonna be Sultan. Oh, really? I was like, how? Yeah, but that's a whole nother thing. But yes. Will Smith, he wasn't a genie. And I got no beef with Will Smith. I think You Never Had a Friend Like Me. That's the best version I ever heard. I was like, oh, this is fire.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh my goodness. It's funny. Like I'll be walking around the house, like literally just humming in my head. Like I was walking to myself, like you ain't never had a friend like me. I used to just do that to him. He'd be like, Dad, what are you doing?
Right.
It was a fire track, but Will Smith is good with music. So I can't. But acting that role, I'm like Robin Williams, hands down, any day of the week. They could have just taken every clip he did and put it on a body, and we would have been happy.
Sure. Yeah.
Nobody would have been mad. Lion King, we already said that's a skip. That's gonna make a lot of people mad, but it will be okay.
Lion King in this household, in my house.
Yeah. It's like you're gonna watch Kimber first. You're gonna get the Japanese version first. You know what I'm saying? Get the true first. Pocahontas. Oh my goodness.
That's probably a no.
That's a doggone no, actually. We already established Hunchback of Notre Dame is a no. Hercules.
I like Hercules.
Okay.
Hercules. I like Hercules.
Watch it again. It gets a no for me. Watch it again. Watch it one more time. Just if the first 3 minutes don't offend you, like watching it with new lenses, we gonna have to talk. I'm just playing. First 3 minutes, I was like them singing. I was like, okay.
They definitely fit that. What were you saying? The magical Negro.
Yeah. Oh, bruh. It's like 5 of them.
Yeah, there were 5. All the stereotypes.
All of them. And then you would not have found like. Not even getting that. Mulan.
I love Mulan. That's probably my second favorite Disney movie. I
got no beef with Mulan. My wife loves Mulan too. But Mulan, as far as a Disney movie goes, I would check. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Cultural story? Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, it's never would have happened. Tarzan.
Tarzan's pretty dope. It's fine. I mean, I'm sure that you could look at that and see some issues.
I can't think of many though. I mean, it's like Tarzan's pretty cut and dry. You know, like it's like, he's raised in the wood by gorillas. Chick come along, Karen, explorative Karen. Fine.
Like a bar.
No, she wasn't an explorative type of Karen though. She's a Karen that doesn't know she's a Karen yet.
She's a very Karen.
Yeah, she's secretive. It's this closet Karen. So she didn't know until she got there.
That's true. Kind of like Rose from Titanic.
Boom. Oh, bruh.
Didn't really realize where like the privilege that she enjoyed.
Rose
was somebody who was completely different.
Yo, Rose is the best Karen in cinema. I mean, like literally the best example of a Karen in freaking cinema. This heifer.
Formative Karen.
Yes.
But by the end, she wasn't Karen anymore. She was Kanisha. Till she let Jack die, of course. Then she was Karen again.
Yes, you can.
She was carrying that axe in that water. From the cuff, she was Kanisha.
Look, man. Look, listen to me. She was Karen the whole way through. She just is the only. She is the adventurous Karen. Okay, she's a Karen that ventures into dark waters. If you get what I'm saying, just to get a taste. But the moment it gets dangerous again, she's like, nah, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It's like what happened? What happened? Look. I gotta fan myself and get so mad about the scene in this doggone movie. Doggone Titanic. Oh my goodness, dude. Jack. First off, it's Jack's fault. I had to admit this to myself to have peace. Okay. Jack ain't had no business sniffing after no Karen. Okay. Now, because like if Jack had some real ones around him, he would have never approached this chick. But he ain't had no real ones. So that right there is an assault against the character of all the friends that he had. They wasn't real friends. The real friend would be like, no, dude, she a Karen, yo. You need to back up because there's a problem here, yo. So but on the real, he meets her, courts her. He a poor dude. And he just like, yo, I'm just gonna show you my world. She wanted to see what it was like because she was in an abusive relationship. Right. So this other dude, Zane, Billy Zane, who's like probably one of the best actors we had in the 90s.
Yeah.
He ain't get no respect. I don't get that. But Billy Zane acted that doggone role to a T.
He did.
You did not know what he was capable of. I'm like, this sucker is crazy.
Yeah, he is.
So, you know, she was like, I'm trying to get away from crazy Billy Zane over here. I just need a new experience for myself. I need to be free. You know what I'm saying? Them, you know, like them knocking boots in a car with steam in a car, you know, him drawing a picture of her and all this type. Oh, look now. She had the best adventurous Karen experience until that iceberg came.
They all just went downhill. And she was like, oh, wait now. This is getting real. At that point, she was too far gone. She couldn't turn back.
Yeah, she thought she couldn't turn back. You know, she was like, I just gotta go ahead and play this. I just gotta play this out now. So she went along with it the whole time until they got in that doggone water. Exactly. And I like Jonathan, just to tell you how mad I am at this scene. I remember one day it came on TV and I had it on DVR. I rewinded that scene 43 times.
Trevor.
To try and figure out how in the world that Jack could not get on that doggone door with her. I was like, maybe there's something that I missed. And I kept rewinding. And I was like, okay, maybe there was a weight, like maybe the locks or something was still on the door, and maybe it had too much. Okay, and none of that on there. Okay. All right, maybe, you know, something was wrong with Jack's legs, something that he couldn't know. Jack was actually still capable enough to swim and hold on to her and keep her warm. Okay, no. So I'm like, okay, maybe something was wrong with her where she couldn't move. Nope, she had the ability to swim her behind to somebody with a whistle.
They could have taken turns.
My boy Jack died. No, you know what's crazy? Somebody actually made somebody probably in the same position I was in, took that door because they actually had the door scaled. Somebody took the door that was scaled and actually found out that if two people, even if they didn't weigh the same, would have counterbalanced the doggone door. If she had given Jack one more chance to try to get on the door,
dang,
they would have probably actually been able to counterbalance it by sitting in the middle, like closer to the middle. They'd have both been on the doggone door, and he would have been alive too, instead of him sinking to the bottom of the goddamn ocean. And her behind, her trifling self at the end of the doggone at 98, still a goddamn Karen. Still a Karen. Throwing a jewel that's worth like a continent in the water.
That is so true.
Yo, she's like literally the prototypical Karen.
Up until the end.
All the way to the end. She had a moment. What the name you gave her?
Kanisha. She had a moment. She did.
You know, she had like maybe a day in the movie where she was like, she probably popping bubble. Oh, girl, I'm over here doing my thing, and then all of a sudden oh no, I'm still Karen. Get me back to safety.
Oh.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. Yo, this has been fun. So,
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, this has been fun. I mean, but yeah, like I think that like we go into the 2000 movies. I don't even think it's even worth it. Like talking about 2000 movies that much. Not too many. I think lately it would have been better, but not too many. I think they've done a better job with the 2000s, kind of making them into movies that would be okay for children to watch. So I'll give them that. But in the early 90s and 80s and back.
Oh, the 40s.
40s and the 50s where like they had like a black man, big lips. I was like, oh wow, look at that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. They had a black man as a regular black man in the animation. I was like, what the world is going on? So yeah. But this has been Ode to Karen. It's been a deconstruction of many fairy tales. Hopefully you guys got the point. Don't date a Karen. Any parting words you got to give, bits of wisdom, John, you got to give to the people?
Don't be deceived, dear children. White supremacy is everywhere, including in your fairy tales.
Yes. Make sure you watch it. You look over those fairy tales twice, because you might not be reading them a fairy tale. You might be reading them instructions.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Just keep that in mind. This has been T-Nigma. It's been my honor and privilege to give you guys this wonderful podcast with a very eloquent brother, Jonathan from John Wrights. And we are going to enjoy the rest of our night, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day or night, whichever time you listen to this. We are out. Thank you guys for listening to Enigmas Unchained. If you like what you heard, please follow us on Apple and Google Podcasts by looking up Enigmas Unchained. Also, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Enigmas Unchained, as well as on Facebook by searching our name. Thank you guys for having us, and we look forward to seeing you again. Solve those enigmas. Don't leave them unsolved.